hit the wrong button, so this is part 2. I don't know how to splice them together, and I've refused to open up a goddamn editor and splice this shit together, so unfortunately there is no, are you sure you want to stop? There's no, the buttons I wanted to have confirmation. Are you sure you want to do that? This is the, look at this cute little, this is a 2-minute chart, just 4 minutes of nice 5-minute bar there, and then pops up, comes back, mini stop on 2-minute chart. So on the 2-minute chart, look at, if I'm trading as big as Hilton, I'm like, oh boy, buy, run tight stops, whoosh, get out, buy, retesting. Wow, look at this volatility dry up here. Crazy. And why the pause and stop button are so close together. And there's so much wrong with this recording device I'm using. Device software. Stuff should be hard to fuck up. You know, it's not like they put the stop and the pause buttons next to each other like you're going, because, in other words, on a piece of hardware, it has to be like that because that's where the mechanism's at inside the unit. Right, the power supply needs to be near the headphone jack because that's where the amplifier's at. But why is it like software is written to emulate hardware? But this is the first chance you get to really make stuff kind of like stupid proof. Anyways, I'm still waiting for her to. God, I don't know why I'm getting lag on the fucking playback. And my cable company, they gave me a credit because I tell them 3 days of disconnect. And they give me a credit, but all you have to do is send me fucking data, and you can't fucking do it right. Get a backup plan.
But that's carrying things to kind of an extreme. But let's go ahead and change the time frame on this to a 1-minute chart, just so we can see.
Yeah, let's see that
what
1
happened
minute
during
chart.
this 2 minutes of the first volley of this move down. And so
this is my first time through the video.
Get to that spot. Okay. So here's what happened during this 1 minute.
Amazing. Now look at this cute little flash crash here, and look, it comes back to this top, this breakout area. So the people on the 5-minute chart, this was the 5-minute cluster pullback, come up, comes into this vac, so it's vac to vac. Here is another place to get in on limits. Here's the 1-minute stop bot is short here. This, I'm imagining no spread, but there's a spread, and here we have this triangle, we have a trend line break, fill in the blank. Another triangle forming now. And here is the first. In other words, if this is the closing price on the 1 minute and you put a buy limit here because you want to retest to that, that's a good place to get in. You got a doji. You got the buy stops are getting filled on the 1 minute. And the trailing sell stops, the sell bots get triggered. And here's where we get chopped. This would be the consolidation. There's a flag, a triangle. All that stuff's going on. Isn't it? Or is it just me?
The first volley of this move was literally a 1-minute bar that was 302 pips tall, right? So if I had a stop order, right?
If, as my buddy used to say, if. His dad used to say that to him to just shut him down. If.
On my trade at 107.80, let's just call it 107.80, my stop order would have probably been picked up somewhere right down in here.
Come back and pick you up. Just sit there. Hey, good looking.
Because it's not going to pick up a stop order until there is at least an uptick in the price, right? Because what happened is the price sailed right through the stop order that would have been placed here, right? So that's what can happen, right? And then what we see is the price bounced up to here, right? It went from here, it upticked just a little bit, it fell lower, right? Then the price, 2 minutes.
We call that a dead cat bounce.
After this bar.
You can only imagine the 30-second chart looks better than this.
Happened.
If you're scalping big, I'm thinking 15-second chart's going to be your ticket.
One point during that next 2 minutes.
And they got those charts out there. You can run the 15. Can't trade off it an MT4. I don't know if you can run I think if you run a 30-second chart in MT5, I don't think it'll even do that.
The price went back up to here, which is more than 50% of this bar, right? But then it came back down again 2, 4, 6 minutes later. See, all of these bars are in that first 15-minute bar, right? This bar was at 1635.
I'm at max
So,
speed,
trying to
people.
figure out exactly when this low hit. It would have hit between 1636 and 1637, somewhere in that. You know, I live in Kansas City. That would have been at 436.
Oh boy.
And that minute is when it hit
She's
the
a
low.
safe distance
So
from
let's
me.
go back to the 15-minute chart now.
Oh God,
And
tell me what
when
happened.
Apple made an announcement today about what their projections for their company were going to be for the coming year. And this morning, I saw an article somewhere in one of the news sites that I read that Apple was going to discontinue trading on their Apple stock in the after-hours trading. They planned their announcement for after the stock market closed, right? And they were going to discontinue trading during the time that they were going to be giving their announcement. So that kind of told everybody, if you're a stock trader, that they were probably expecting to say some very bad news for Apple stock. Right?
Okay, so now this is the argument that other things in the market are Apple's announcement caused the Australian dollar to go down. Could somebody unpack that for me, as they say? Wait,
Right.
Apple.
And so let's just go see what happened to Apple.
Oh, I get it. Australia starts with an A, and so did Apple. What was I thinking?
Stock after they took the pause off of the Apple stock trading. So that's AAPL, I think. Yeah. So, and see here, this is the gray shade.
Oh, how'd you like to trade this thing? Look at this fall out of bed. Now here, your pending orders are sitting overnight right in the good old level 2 world. You get your buy limits down here like Bill Gates. And look at this. You scalp to here, and now it's a scalp. Boom, you're out. And here comes the volatility guys back. And people say Forex is bad. Look at this fucking chart. You want to get raped? Right? Really? Come on.
Areas are the after hours stock trading, and then the white areas are the daytime stock trading hours, right? And so anyway, at the end of the regular trading day today, their stock was actually moving.
Yeah, but what's this gap? If that's overnight hours, what is this thing? How are we falling out of bed? How are we gapping on this? I don't get it. Is that Sunday? I don't know.
Back up again after a little decline. But then what happened is here's what happened when they were giving their announcement. See, they turned off the Apple trading right there. And then
that's called illiquidity, I think, right? You stop trading. And, of course, not to mention people have protection stops that start here, I'm sure, right? Don't they have all the everybody's got their goober risk management in here? We have to assume. Oh, boy.
This is the bar that happened because of the announcement that they gave today, right? And so, anyway, Apple stock has taken a huge dump today in its value. Let's see, at the end of
Isn't it just triggering stops? That probably happens all the time.
The normal trading day today, the price on Apple stock, well, I don't know if I have the right one or not. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if this is the right one. Oh, well, it was at 157.90.
You're killing me, man. Tell me why the Forex crashed.
It dropped. People are greedy. Obviously, they want to make money. That's why they trade. So this big drop here was not a situation where the AUD was losing value. It was more a situation of the JPY pair, the JPY currency, gaining strength. And it was gaining strength because people in the overall markets were afraid. Okay, and that's why we see an almost identical move on all of the JPY pairs. Now, the different pairs do trade a little differently. That's why the variation in the bar length. But the picture is pretty much the same, right? Although on some of the JPY pairs, it was 356 pips.
So JPY seems to be the story here. I'm pretty sure that I don't know. Maybe I got the wrong. I thought she started off with Australian to the U.S.
Other of the JPY pairs, the bar was 400 and some pips, and on
Did I
other
fuck
of the
that
JPY
up?
pairs, it was 450. But it doesn't matter which one you pick. Some of them went much further than others. This one went 557 pips, but they all of the graphics.
Oh, wait a second. Please hold. I just looked back. No, I start off with Australian to the U.S. So she's claiming that the move in the Australian dollar is, that the yen. It's all about the yen or something in Apple stocks because they're made in Japan.
Have to be aware of things called fundamental elements that can move the.
Okay, so here's what the Dieter guy was talking about, the fundamental things that move the market. But that's not how you're going to make money trading, because if you're trading without stops, you might get clobbered on this, or you might have made money on that. But you still had to take your profit and get out. So fundamental, so I should go to Reuters and sit with my finger on the market order trigger, waiting for the latest news to break and get a direct feed. Pay a Reuters fee.
The Forex markets, right? We have technical things that we can watch. We can put 257 different indicators on this chart that'll give you an idea of
Only
where the price might move next.
257?
We never know where the next bar is going to move, but technical indicators will give you an idea of potentially what's most likely to happen. If the price
Potentially what's most likely to happen.
does this, then it does that, right? But fundamental things are things that
Fundamental things in life.
essentially are concerning fear and greed in the overall
Fear and greed. Now, I tell you, step away from that moonshine, son. You get all greedy.
market or in the overall geopolitical situations of different nations, right? Or economic data on different world economies, things like that. Those are
World economies.
fundamental things, and the fundamentals will move markets far more than any technical issue. Like just because you're outside of a bull.
So my question, is the vacuum a technical issue? Is an auction a technical issue? It's an auction. These are auction markets over the counter. All markets are auction markets, but this is over the counter. There is no limit to how this can move. This thing flash crashes every fucking 10 minutes. If you're in big enough, if you're in 40 standard lots, a 60 pip move on a 1 hour chart to me is a flash crash. Just saying.
Just because you've broken a trend line or a moving average or whatever. Those are all technical indicators. But fundamental issues, like having Apple give a very, very bad report today, are going to move markets.
Very bad report. Oh, get it, Apple side. Well, it's because they took the fucking hardware jack out of there and put some fucking flimsy ass USB fucking facsimile connector in there.
Much more than any kind of technical anything. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about that, tell you what happened. Now, the pairs that took the biggest hit today on this were the AUD pairs. If we go to any of the AUD pairs,
so
this
she
is the
explained
AUD.
it.
Let's go over to the AUD USD.
I guess that explains it. Oh well. I'm going to splice these together.